Holy shit to go string. Hey, Digo. Let's go, I'm ready to thaw.
Alright. Hello. It's been a while. For those who weren't here during the test stream, it's been a while. Funzy, hello. Krellbit. Oh, Krellbit's here. Hello. Ankit. Holy shit. Thank you for the 5 months, buddy. Christian, hello. Oh, Upas, hello. 27, thank you so much. One Drugman with 28, I'm ready to talk. Hello. Weagle, hello. Kupo, how's it going? 56 Geek, hello. Welcome. Looking forward to the stream. Me too. Utoy, hello. Abstraction, not a KCSMH. Rizma, what's up? Juanjado, 12 months. Oh, thank you. Thank you. A year. Mama, hoo, hello. Ryotaro, Chutaro, hello. How's it going? Rafataf, hello. How's it going? I hope Elaine comes by. It might be late for her though. You mean early? It's like 8 AM in Singapore and Malaysia, so it's really early of a Friday out in Asia, so it would be pretty early up there. So she might not be up because it's pretty early in the morning, decently early, you know. Ready to be influenced. Okay, sounds good. 1 AM Paris. I won't sleep tonight to watch your stream. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry that it's such a late time for you. I hope it's not too cumbersome to be here. Alright, so here we are today. So as you guys can see, obviously today's build is going to be the Monokei run SINGAKBD Jaguar V2. We actually had built a previous prototype, but it was a prior iteration of the Jaguar V2. Basically, you could say that it was almost like a 1.8, or really like a V2, but a proto version. And then this one is basically what's closest to the production. It's there's going to be, I think, some very small quality of life improvements or like inclusions, like including like a little bit of like tape, I think, like Teflon tape for like this part of the JST channel, and a few other small things like that, you know, some minor changes to make like your life easier as a consumer and as a keyboard user. And so yeah, so today's build is pretty much as representative as it gets to the actual production run units. So yeah, yo, T90 get some used. Yeah, T90 is fixed on this board, Funzy, because this board is like perfect for T90. The color is just like perfect for it. It's always degenerate in some part of the world. That is true. Degenerate. Anyway, so yeah, this is an old board. I've had this board since 2017, mid 2017. I actually got this as a gift from Eat the Food. If you don't know who he is, he's a maker currently, but he and I were chatting, and at first he had sent it out for me to build and stuff, and then he was like, just keep it. And then that was it. But yeah, quite old now. It's like a 5-year-old board now. But yeah. What keyboard made you go into the keyboard hobby? I attended a meetup. I mean, like, I already had like a full size with MX Browns back in the day, like a Cooler Master Quickfire, like Pro or something like that. It's like a full size MX Browns. So I got that from my brother. And then I was just using that through a lot of my school years. But then I would say that later on, when I was starting to work, I had not a coworker, but like from like the building across, basically someone I had met like at work. He like introduced me to keyboards through a meetup. Like he was like, "Hey, there's this meetup happening in the area. It's the first one happening in the area. Do you want to go?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" And the first 2 boards that I got were actually the HKB and the Nova Touch. And then after that, I got into I got like some other boards. I got like a Vermillo, I got like White Fox. My first custom keyboard was a Duck Octagon V1. I still actually own it. I actually am selling it now, but I actually still own it. So yeah, that was my first custom keyboard back then. And then, you know, I also tried a lot of other things. Like I tried like the first iteration of the KBD 75. I had a few different Duck Blackbirds, but that was also one of my first few customs back in the day. Yeah. But I do have a lot of boards that I've kept over many years now. Yeah. Would have been kinder to introduce it to heroin. Not false, perhaps. But yeah. Alright, Milk, hello. PC's finally fixed. So PC is semi-fixed. There's a chance that stream could fall apart. I hope not, knock on wood. But basically my PC is currently running completely underclocked. I had to disable this thing called Core Performance Boost on the BIOS, which basically puts your CPU at base frequency, at the base speed. So it cannot overclock itself any more than the base. Which basically means the CPU is running at the minimum possible rate. So yeah. So I probably have to replace my CPU. It's very likely that there was some problem with, like, initially it was like a RAM slash, I mean, actually it was a boot drive problem. I wiped everything and then things wouldn't boot at all. I changed my Mobo, things started to boot again. I installed Windows, and then and then it would freeze, and then the computer would freeze completely. Like out of nowhere, like no black screen, no BSOD, no blue screen of death. It would just freeze, like on it. Like, imagine you have a screen, that exact screen, no mouse, no keyboard movement, nothing. It just freezes until you had to like manually restart the computer. And later on, I was troubleshooting. We figured out that it was a RAM problem. Basically I couldn't use like overclock RAM, and then thanks, Nacho. 7 months.
Hello.
Anyway, I mean, no, 19 months, thank you. So yes. Anyway, so it was like RAM problem. Basically we're like, I can't use any RAM that's over the base, like, you know, 3200 megahertz, right? Which is what Ryzen does need. Or like actually 2400 is what I use, and it was fine, but then any 3200 and above, it wouldn't work. So basically I couldn't use any XMP or DLCP'd RAM, right? So I couldn't use the RAM that was above a certain frequency. And so I was like playing around with the clock, and it wouldn't work anyway. And then later on, someone suggested, who apparently had a similar problem with the same CPU. I have a AMD 5900X, and they're like, disable this core performance boost thing, and it might work. And I did, and it's been stable. It's still showing some signs of like, you know, like I'm kind of struggling. So I think it's time to replace my CPU, and my CPU is only like a year and a half old, which is terrible. So yeah, there goes like another $400 basically. So yeah, anyhow. Is it worth doing this stuff with PCs? Why not just use a pre-built? I mean, because I wanted to build my own PC. I use my PC for many other things too, like for like work and productivity. So it's not just like gaming and streaming. That's really not. Actually, that's like pretty much a secondary purpose. Streaming and that kind of stuff kind of came about like afterwards. Like, but in general, I wanted to use. Whoa, my God! Here's some PC money, dude. Oh my God! You know that half of that money goes to Amazon, right? Get a 5800 X3D. I'm looking at sales. So if I manage to get a 5800 X3D for cheaper, for a good deal, I might pick one up. But for now, yeah. I already changed the mobile though, the airsoft shot. So it's not the mobile problem here. Also, Christian, that's crazy. Thank you so much, but that's insane. Yeah. So anyway, unstable overclock kind of problems. It's kind of hard to say what the problem exactly is, but people essentially are saying it's probably a CPU issue. The weather outside, it's frightful. I can't see the weather outside right now very closely, but it was kind of raining earlier. I don't think our storm is gonna hit. Storm is gonna hit here just yet, but I think tomorrow it might be pretty bad. But we'll see. All right, let's get started though. We're kind of like delaying this a lot. Jeff Bezos be hoarding that money. Yeah. So it's interesting. As a streamer, it is more beneficial to you that people donate, like they do like gifts, or you know, like you know, you just donate money, like, or bits, for example. But subscriptions, on the other hand, it's about half the money goes to Twitch, and half the money goes to the streamer. And then, you know, you get taxed on top of that. So it's like, if it's like a $5 subscription, right, it's like really it's more like a $2 benefit for the streamer, and then the rest goes into like tax and, you know, Twitch. So all right, so we have some Marshmallow switches today. These are Lube with 205 grade 0. These were sent to me from Monokei. And we have this bag here. Of course, we have our kaban. It's super gross today. A good day to work from home. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I was out earlier and it was fine. I'm not sure if other parts of the city are even worse right now. Also, JJW Justin, hello. 16 months? Whoa, thank you. How Diego? Howdy, how are you? I hope you're doing well, buddy. By the way, are you still holding onto my Miyago pin, or do you finally re-raffle it? I have a lot of extras, Funzy, so if you want me to send something to you through somebody else, maybe, or through a proxy, just let me know. But I still have spare pins, so if you wanted a pin, it's all yours, by the way. What's the key set? This is TA90. GMK TA90. GMK Digital Nightmares on Jaguar? Maybe on the purple one, once that comes out. Alright, so we have our cloth here, we have our TX tabs, and we have our silver Jaguar here. Let's get the rest of the stuff out here. We have our O-ring, we can try that. We have our PCB, purple PCB here, and we have our flight daughter board. And I'll just put the cloth away for now. Let's get the bag here out. You already got the Jaguar? Damn, it's a prototype. As you know. Did you do a hero stream a while ago? Yes, I did do a hero stream quite some time ago. Yes, I did do a hero stream. I did a Kage stream. I've also done the 910ME and the Jane V2ME as well. Alright, the O-ring is actually red, not orange. Maybe it's like red-orange, but it's more red than orange. Can I get a pin? Hello? Yeah, sure. Just, I don't remember if I still have all the... I don't think I have all the items anymore because I delete that periodically. But if you fill out a form, Nacho, I could send you one. Although I don't even know if it's gonna make it down there. Actually, wait. USPS is scolding me now. Do you still have your proxy? I'll have to send it to your proxy instead. I'm going to exit the stream before making a terrible financial decision. Sounds good, Curious Yellow. Good night. Alright. So... I did just briefly test the PCB just to make sure it works before the stream, so I'm not gonna bother doing that. Did want to show you what the PCB looks like up close, however. So the PCB here is a purple solder mask here, very, very nice. This PCB is designed by Kopi Bang. Kopi Bang is a Malaysia-based PCB designer. As you can see, it had a port and it was chopped off, but that's because it does have the JST support here, and basically this is right now an F12 TKL PCB with universal support. So, you know, step caps lock and so ISO, ANSI, and, you know, splits and all that stuff. It does have LEDs at the bottom if you have a keyboard that uses LEDs, but in this case we will turn those off. But yeah, using the proxy for anything is like 20 bucks. Oh, F. Maybe if there's an occasion I can we can put things together instead of just the pin, then I'll send you the pin. Why did the USPS gold? So basically you can't use you can't, like, the pin is not thin enough for an envelope. So basically it's a non-machine processable like letter, and so you have to pay more postage. So essentially you have to send it as a package, and that compared to a letter stamp, it's a lot more expensive, especially abroad. Sending it abroad, so that kind of sucks, but that's what it is. Kupo, thank you so much for gifting a tier 1 sub to Gam. That's awesome. Oh, Holly, hello. Hello. Alright, so, and here's the board. Let's show you guys the board here. So this is the Jaguar V2 in silver. Let me know if the color or anything like that is kind of off, the lighting is off or anything like that. Like, I've kind of kept all my setup as similar as possible as before, but given that my PC did lose a bunch of settings, and also like, you know, maybe OBS, you know, I don't know. Things do change. Like, on my screen might appear a little bit different from yours, so just let me know if something seems weird. But yeah. That's what the Jaguar looks like from the side. And then this is the back portion for the USB port. Nice and tight USB port there at the bottom. And then there is the bottom with our large external weight. Does it fit a Lindy? That's a good question. I am actually not sure. I have a USB mini Lindy, so all that matters is whether it fits the. Yeah, I think it would fit the housing. Yeah, it would probably fit the housing fine. I think the housing would fit fine. The USB-C Lindy is somewhere in my box over there. But yeah. There it is, though. Nice and clean at the bottom. You have this nice kind of grilled external weight. Very heavy, very large. And at the top, you have this engraving for the Jaguar above the arrow cluster. And this has asymmetrical, you know, like thicker top and bottom bezels versus the sides. And it's F12 TKL here. Alright, so... Bread, hello. How's it going? Fuego, how's it going? Agile1, hello. Why Zonky, hello. I think I'm gonna shut up. Jaguar shall not be ugly anymore. Jaguar shall be cool. Wait, did you say Jaguar was ugly before? I'm more puzzled by that. Oh, I mean, I guess there are people who have been like, oh, it looks so tacky. I'm like, well, I mean, if it's not your cup of tea, you can just not purchase it, right? But I get it. It is a little bit, it's not your, it is not as rectangular. I mean, it's like has a lot of angles because of the, like, this semi-octagonal kind of shape, but so it is a little bit different looking from other keyboards, I think. At least that's my opinion, but anyway. Too much POC chamfer, no optional engraving? I think the engraving looks fine. And that said, it is the designer's kind of choice to do that. So if you don't like the engraving and you don't like the branding, then that's kind of like... It's like kind of like, it's like going to an LV store, like a Louis Vuitton store or something like that, or like, I don't know. You name, you know, boutique brand, and tell them like, hey, I don't like your branding. Can you take it off? They're gonna be like, no. They're just gonna be like, no. No, we won't take it off. If you don't like it, you can leave the store. Thank you, sir. It's that simple when it comes to branding. If you don't like it, that's it's just not for you. And no one's forcing anybody to use or not use or buy or not buy, right? So yeah, sometimes it's just the way it is. People want to put their pride and joy, and in this case it might be the brand. Be sure to shout, "I will never shop here again" on your way out. That'll show them. Oh, that's a very classic one. People do. I definitely have heard that. I've worked in retail before, and I've definitely heard that particular phrase before. "I will never come back here again. I was so convinced that I loved your merchandise, and now I hate it." Okay, so right now the plate is mounted in top mount. As you can see, it has 7 mounting points, very similar to the Jane V2, and so you have 4 mounting positions at the top and 3 at the bottom. This also does support O-ring. As you can see, there are different O-ring mounting pillars there at the bottom case. And per Elaine's information, Elaine is the designer. She is the CEO and designer under the name of SINGAKBD. She did say that the internal weight is considered to be optional. That is because the typing angle of the board is about 6 degrees, and not is it only low typing angle, it also has a pretty tight internal space. And so you can actually use it without the internal weight, and it will be a little bit different. She says that she prefers without internal weight sometimes, and so we'll try both today. The owner of FTX just paid 250 million in bail right after saying he only had 100K to his name. Yeah, well. One time someone said they will never come back again. I saw him again a month later. Classic. I mean, yeah. It's like saying that at like Target or something, and then obviously you have to go to Target for one reason or another. Or maybe like your most convenient, closest grocery store. Sometimes convenience beats the inconvenience of maybe having a bad retail experience. Alright, so there's the plate. As you can see, there is a... This is part of the SINGAKBD logo. And there are these flex cuts above the... I guess below the home row and above and below the number row. And it supports universal layouts, so ANSI, ISO, etc. Take the plate out for now. Put this back down here. And let's get to building the rest up.
For 1,000 Jaguar, happy holidays.
Oh, way you go. Thank you so much for the 1,000 bits. And happy holidays to you too. I hope you have a great time with family or loved ones. I hope it's a good time for the holidays. If you have any plans and you're traveling, I hope you have safe travels, because there's a whole lot of cold-like things going buzzing around out there. I feel like a lot of my friends who said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna travel for a bit," they've all come back with like a cold of some sort, and I'm like, well, just be careful. Are bits great for donuts, or do you get basis tax on those as well? Everything, okay, income no matter what gets taxed, okay, but bits are much better than subs in the sense that subs are definitely like half cut, but bits are like 1-to-1. So like 100 bits is about $1 equivalent. But the payout normally happens, for example, for streamers, payouts always happen by month, assuming you make more than $100 that month. The payout happens. Basically, it's like a direct deposit, and so yeah, so that's how payouts work on Twitch. And you just get payouts. There is like withholding for taxes and stuff. So obviously that stuff is stuff that you declare on your tax return, and so yeah. It's 50 minimum? Oh, never mind. See, I'm a boomer now. I didn't know it was 50 minimum now. But yeah, apparently it's 50 minimum according to Quappa, so. Bezos needs money to shine his head more? Yeah, more cleaning agents. So, apparently. But, anyway, Huego is staying local for the most part, but hitting New York City next week? For Blue Man Group? Oh, I saw Blue Man Group, for my birthday, Mr. Huego. I really liked it. I really enjoyed Blue Man Group. I saw it for the first time like this past year, so I think you'll like it. If you sit near the front for Blue Man Group, just so you know, you might experience some splatter from the drumming and all that stuff. Also, more likely for you to be called up to stage and things like that. Just FYI. I mean, just like every show that's interactive, if you're at the front, more likely to interact with the performers. It's a good time though. I think your family's gonna have a good time. It's pretty funny and really fun. Also, wait, well, if you're in New York City and you want to say hello, you should let me know when. And we can maybe just grab a quick coffee or something. Does this use a fly daughter board? Yes, so we have indeed a smaller daughter board that's not the universal one. Vancouver Coffee is asking, what type of daughter board do we use here? And I'm just gonna take off these screws, which are the daughter board screws. Put it aside for now. Yes, so we have the Fly DB. One side, right now we have JST to Molex, but I believe it might be changed to JST to JST, because Molex does just kind of come off if you like pull up. But I mean, yeah, it is like the Fly DB, the smaller one. Nice and small. Alright. Hit you up, staying for 2 days? Oh, okay. Nice and short and sweet trip. But yeah, it would be good to see you, Mr. Huego. Maybe I'll just put the PCB aside for now. I love the Tiger Cam. Thank you, thank you. It's been a thing on the stream for some time now. I guess since like 2020, I guess that's when JD was introduced, right? Alright, so we're gonna just loop some TX stabs here with 2.5 grade 0, which is probably my go-to stabs these days, other than like cherry clip-ins. Occasionally, I do still grab some Durox stabilizers. People sometimes send like Zeal stabs, and then Stabies occasionally too. I do have actually like a few boxes of the Stabies, which also work pretty well. But yeah, TX stabs are great too. So. Great successor to the original cherry clip-ins though. Do stabs change the sound profile? Of the modifiers, perhaps, yes. I do think some stabs maybe sound a bit more like higher pitch or lower pitch, or like, you know, like plasticky or not. But it also depends on how you decide to modify it, if you modify it at all. Like if you decide to lube your stabs, right? Like it kind of depends on that too. Like if it's rattly, obviously you're gonna hear the rattle over any other kind of sound. And it also depends on what keycaps you put on, that kind of stuff. So yeah, like a lot of things, a lot of factors will affect it, but different stabs do like would sound a little bit different, yeah. Do I care too much personally about the difference in sound? No. I think as long as there's no rattle in the modifiers for me, I don't care. Personally. So I don't really take notes as to how it changes the sound or anything like that, because I don't really, you know, personally have no investment in it. Is that a Canoe V1 on the desk? Yeah, that's a throwback, right? Yeah. Scott here, do you think the Jag is worth the price? Boards are worth the price if you like them, right? I personally like the Jaguar, like how it looks. I don't know what it sounds like. I'm assuming that it's gonna sound pretty nice, or at least, you know, it does have like that GV2 style kind of plate and mounting and all that, right? And based on the V1, it was a very nice sounding board too. And based on other Jane V2 like boards, it's also been they've been all pretty nice sounding boards. So I'm assuming it's gonna be pretty nice. But that said, you never know until you try it. But if you like the aesthetic of the Jaguar, I mean, I think it's a fine price. I think the price is fine. It's definitely not a small price tag though. Like that's a given. It's not cheap. I mean, no keyboard really is cheap. But you can determine whether it's worth your money or not. I think for what people consider to be like a pretty nice quality custom keyboard, with good quality control and fulfillment, I think it's a pretty fair value for the price. I'd rather get a Ripple TKL. Yeah, I mean, again, everyone has different preferences to what aesthetic they also like. Anna Guinevere, hello. How's it going? Bought some of Amazon. Happy with it for now. Good. Good. Amazon does sell, like, I think Amazon sells like what? Durock stabs or Durock-like stabs, right? Like the Gateron stabs, I guess. I think Amazon has those listed up. Maybe under a different brand name, like a third party, but yeah. But yeah, sometimes you're paying for the brand name. Sometimes you're also paying for the vendor, like, margins and quality control and all these things, right? That kind of factor into the calculation of price. So as long as you're happy with those different things, I think it's worth the price. Some people get very picky, nitpicky about price, because I get it. Every dollar saved counts. But yeah, I do think, at least like for Monokei, they've also been really good about fulfillment and QC and all these things. So I personally trust them a lot, and I do think a lot of people do as well. Do you think after a certain price point, only thing that changes is the aesthetic of the board? Yes and no. Like, it depends how much you care about the minute differences. There are minute differences for everything at every point, because it also depends on what switch you use, what plate you use, how you decide to put it.
Glad I was able to get here on time for stab content.
All that stuff. Also, Forbidden, hello, 10 months. Thank you so much. It's been a while though. Yes, thank you so much for joining in, and for the 10 months. But yes, everything kind of does change with every single build you ever do. But I would say that after a certain price point, yeah, aesthetic is going to be a very big factor in your decision making. I personally find aesthetic to be a huge factor. Like, if I don't like the aesthetic, that's a no buy easy, right? Like, there's, like, I think I have like a certain tolerance for prices. And so as long as it doesn't go past that tolerance level, I think it's fine. But generally speaking, yeah, aesthetics do dictate a lot of like the decision making, like whether I buy something or not. I mean, at least at first glance, the aesthetic is the first thing I think about. I'm not thinking that much about all the features of the board until I first look at the board and see if I like it. Like, if it's an ugly board to me, but it offers like all these banging features, I still don't care enough for it, because if it's not gonna look good to me, then what's the benefit of that? Using something ugly but it's like practical with some features, it's okay. I would rather use something pretty and slightly less practical and still as functional, like at least on the basic level, like it's still being a keyboard. I don't need, OLED screens, and I know that people are talking about that final mouse stuff. Excuse me, which seems interesting, but for example, for me, like, a screen is not like a feature I need on a keyboard, right? So for me, it's like whatever. But it's a nice little kind of a bit gimmicky feature, but it's there. I mean, it's like, if you're interested in that stuff, then go for it. But personally, I'm like, whatever. I just want my keyboard to type well and feel all right and look good in particular. Yeah, peace of mind is a part of the cost of good products. Yeah, for sure. And just like anything, the price of convenience is sometimes can be a very hefty tax on product cost. Like, you know, it's like sometimes you decide to take a cab instead of like public transit, right? Sometimes the convenience of getting a ride just for yourself and paying a lot more is quite nice. Like maybe on a late night coming back from the airport is a very good example. Maybe you have, I mean, assuming like let's say you have some access to some kind of train or public transit or whatever, but then you, instead of spending the extra hour and a lot less money, you decide to just take a cab or like Uber or whatever it is. But yeah, price of convenience, sometimes it's pretty different and pretty hefty. A bit of a tax to pay. Even at a very high price, it can still result in the worst product if you have lower MOQ and use the worst manufacturer, for sure. Now, those kinds of things do matter. The Bermuda Triangle of typing field acoustics and aesthetics, yeah. Final mouse is final hyper QC problem. Unfortunately, they do not have a proxy in the EU for the Jaguar, so I'll have to pay lots of VAT, value-added tax, EU sales tax, shipping, and custom clearance fees. That is true, yes. Yeah, that part is unfortunate about the tax and the customs. Like that is, it's just a bummer. Mostly in the sense that it's just like the country's lost. Just make it expensive. EU hobby in a nutshell. Yeah, people overseas complain about the high price of EU boards that have VAT included that come out the same or cheaper. Yeah. At the end of the day, those kinds of things, it's like just a consequence of the laws being like that. I mean, it would be nice to have proxy and whatever, right? But even with proxies, those vendors who become the proxies would end up paying the tax anyway. So the price ends up being pushed to you anyhow as a consumer. So that's another thing to consider. Beautiful board, but buying it during the holiday season is brutal. Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that the holiday season is a very expensive time for a lot of people because buying gifts and all that, or traveling for people, if you might be doing that. Yeah. I love this TGR Singapore typing feel and looks timeless even after many years. Definitely, yeah, it definitely does have a lot of those like classic elements. But that said, it's kind of like people who enjoy vintage for a reason. It's because they have like a acquired taste for that particular like look, and even if it's old, for them it's like timeless. A lot of keyboards are cheaper in a way, but because they're made in countries that are super cheap to manufacture. Yes, that is true. I mean, it certainly is cheaper to manufacture in certain countries, like in this case, like let's say China. But yeah, I mean, those costs eventually all like if there's like trackable costs, like maybe if you manufacture something in the EU or like in the US or maybe some other country that has like higher manufacturing costs, maybe like eventually those trackable costs all get trickled down over to the customer at the end of the day. So yeah, all these factors will matter. Like, yeah, you might want to have it made locally, which helps you in being participant to the actual making process, and yeah, as Siguri says, like less hassle and making sure that things are going according to plan, but you're at the expense of perhaps more expensive production costs. Nice canoe, thank you. It's an old piece of equipment here I've had for some time. The cheat code is to live in China. Yeah, pros and cons to that too. But yeah, I guess in the context of at least the manufacturing stuff industry, is the closer you are to the center of a lot of the manufacturing, the better. But yeah, I'm sure there's people who are not very happy about that either. So. cheat code is to have a CNC machine, but there's a skill part. You have to learn how to use it properly. Just having the machine is also a huge upkeep cost-wise. Getting materials, having a shop to run it, the electricity costs. So that wouldn't be a cheat code either. IMO, but yeah. The upkeep of CNC machining is insane. People don't really think about it that much, but at the level of doing it yourself, it's very, very expensive, both resources and monetarily wise. YouTube videos, yeah, you have the finishing to worry about. I mean, you could be making nice raw keyboards, like raw metal keyboards, but then you have to finish them, and the finishing is not up to par to your standards, at least, or to the standards a lot of keyboard people want to run things. You're not gonna be selling. You're not gonna be selling any services, that's for sure. And the finishing is not independent either. It does depend on the quality of the material and how it's machined. So I'm missing a wire. Free machining and $50 alu. Yeah, right. Just learn to CNC on today's sponsor, Skillshare. I wish there was an option for no Jaguar engraving. It do be like that. If you don't like it, that's the way it goes. The way the cookie crumbled, my friend. Was it brown Lindy cable that you showed earlier? This is not brown. This is not brown. Does this look brown to you? It's like black. Like, it's like kind of like shimmery, but it's like gray black. It's like a dark gray. It's like charcoal-y. It's not brown though. No, it's not custom though. That one's straight up from like Amazon. Sponsor I see always is PCB Way and a lot of keyboard YouTubers. Oh, I see. I guess that makes sense. They probably reach out to a lot of people, so, or most channels for that matter. I thought you were going to say the way the cookie, the way the cookie turns starts singing some MF Doom. No, unfortunately not. Glars's got a Skillshare sponsorship on a video a while ago. Nice. I mean, YouTube's a whole different world too. Sponsoring for YouTube videos. Why do companies sell B stock boards? Because otherwise they just sit around. What are they gonna do? Spend more money to refinish it, and then sell it at a price that ends up being a loss for them. So that's why. It's one of those things that if you spend more money to refinish things, you end up spending more money, so you end up at a loss. Or if you end up selling at least at a discounted cost, at least you'll end up breaking even instead of losing more money. So sometimes people are more tolerant of B stock or C stock or whatever, you know, like some minor defects on boards. But that's why it's done, because it's a sunk cost. Like once you made it, like you made the board or whatever, it's a sunk cost. You spent the time and the resources to make it. If you don't sell it, that's net zero revenue, right? So if you're using, you know, if you're not gonna get any revenue from it, yeah, it's like might as well get something out of it than nothing. That's pretty much what it is. Oh. And storage costs, yeah, warehouse space is not free. I like the Snoopy and Woodstock Artisans. Thank you, thank you. Good keyboards B stock from reputable brands are hardly noticeable. That's true. Yeah. Some brands that basically sell B stock, it's like a very small defect that's hardly noticeable. Yeah. I personally think B stock is worth the discount, like the money, like as a consumer. I think they're pretty worth it. It's a pretty decent discount for a very minor issue normally. Worse than that, I think it's a case by case. You just have to assess what works for you and like what kind of condition they have it in. This hobby is picky, so B stock is literally flawless for most people. Yeah, that's true. I mean, and picky, it goes on both sides, by the way, both on the manufacturing, like on the manufacturing end, and also at the hobbyist end, like at the consumer level. Like both the producer or the manufacturer and the consumer can be pretty picky. So it all depends, though. It all depends. Some people aren't that picky, so yeah. Geon B stock basically indistinguishable. I see. I haven't purchased Geon B stock, so I don't know, but I've definitely heard good things about people purchasing. So haven't seen it in person though, so I'm not sure. Or maybe I did and never noticed because it was that much hard to notice. If the consumers weren't picky, the menus wouldn't be this way. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's supply and demand is essentially. Got a C stock board with 2 dents that worth the discount. Huh, that's good. If it's worth it for you, then that's all it is. Have you noticed a shark keyboard on Reddit today? No, because I do not browse Reddit regularly. So no. Oh, Sangha? Is that what it is? The Sangha board from Monster Gear? I mean, that is one of the shark theme boards, yeah. I'm not sure if that's what the one they were referring to. Gotta appreciate the PCB switch color combo. It's a nice combo for sure. You're sure on lightning cord? Oh, I haven't taken a look in the past like hour-ish. Or at least not as closely. 11/28/2020 was when JD has been officially named. Happy late birthday. Oh, already 2 and a month basically. JD quite old now, if you think about it. Okay. They made shark teeth out of the seam of the board? Oh, that's cool. JD's now legal drinking age. JD has had that freedom to do anything since forever. Two years and 1 month equals 21. Yeah, that seems simple. Wait, so 2 years and 11 months equals 211? We need a Luna guest appearance. She's out for vacation. Luna is out for vacation. So Luna is my roommate's cat, and she's a good traveler, fortunately, as in like she doesn't complain about traveling with her owner, and so she's out for vacation now for the holidays. Okay. Bro gave away 20 subs and got walled by a cat. I mean, he didn't ask at the beginning initially. Should have done that first. Should have been like, is Luna around? 20 subs. It happens. Yeah. GG. Unbelievable day. Smoge. Oh, do you guys start looking at resis for us? Oh, yeah. Sounds good. Super Switch, hola Diego, hola Sandra, ¿cómo estás? How's it going? When Luna comes back, she's gonna post on Twitter on how one of her viewers donated her a new PC. ¿Todo bien? Espero que tú también. Ya sabes, estoy bien, aunque mi computadora estuvo de la fregada hace una semana. The burdens of the modern world, yeah, it sucked. Anduvo mamona la PC. Se la mamo. Had to tell my PC, no manches, güey, ya párale, cabrón. You know? Ya tú sabes. Ooh. Slight tick on the left side here. I had issues with my laptop smack dab in the middle of 2020. Oh, I do not envy you. It's in the middle of the pandemic when it was impossible to get anything. Alright, that sounds fine to me. Let's get on with the rest of the switches here. My laptop broke right before a biochem exam. Wait, what do you need? What do you need a laptop for a biochem exam though? For like just to study, or do you actually need it for an assignment, like writing like a report or something like that? Because that sucks. On top of all the uncertainty with work, without my laptop, I was screwed with if any job opportunities popped up. Yeah, I mean, I pretty much lost the entire week last week when this PC thing happened, and I was also behind on a bunch of stuff. So, like after and then like I had this like trip planned for the weekend. So as soon as I came back, I was scrambling to get stuff like get caught up with a bunch of stuff. But yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible how dependent we are on technology when it comes to certain like specific things. Like without them, like the world suddenly becomes super inconvenient and just really difficult to manage. Glad it was sorted out in a somewhat timely fashion. Somewhat, yeah. I mean, I'm glad I was able to troubleshoot it to the point where it could stabilize somewhere. But I do have to technically replace pieces. Like there's a good chance I will RMA my RAM. I will probably get a new CPU. That one's not RMA-able because I did purchase it. I did purchase that secondhand essentially, which obviously is looking back, it's a mistake. But who knew that it was gonna fail? And then yeah. That whole ordeal I went through was a big part of the reason why I invested in a secondary PC. Kind of smart. Pretty smart to do that, TBH. I mean, like, I do have a laptop, right? But, you know, there's a bunch of things I can't do. Don't buy secondhand this time? Yeah, so the funny thing is, like, it was used. It was actually brand new and sealed. So I figured, oh, it's okay. Like, it's completely new in box sealed and all that. You know, I even like made sure to like ask for pictures and like for the outside part, like where the window is, like for the, because there's like scams basically where they swap out stuff on the inside too. And I was like, but no, I made sure like to basically do my homework and ask for pictures, like make sure for them to show me all the, like, you know, basically make sure that it's actually new, and it was. But yeah, you can't claim warranty. Yeah, that's the main problem. That said, I've never had a PC fail at the CPU level, so yeah, lesson learned, I guess. I've only had things like, you know, like a boot drive fail, like a, you know, hard drive or like solid state or whatever. But yeah, not at the CPU level. But I guess I do now know with like Ryzen's it's kind of more likely. That said, yeah, I did use Intel's before, so yeah. Do you lube TX stabs differently from other stabs? I only used them once. I lubed them like I do Cherry and Duroc, but they seem a little over lubed. Yeah, you might want to try a little less, yeah, compared to like Cherry or Duroc. I think the key part is just to make it a thin layer everywhere and then just to thicken wherever you find it problematic, and that normally tends to be where the wire meets the housing, the inside of the stabilizer insert, right? So you can just maybe adjust that amount more or less depending on which type of stab you're doing. That's one way to address that. So in the case of like, yeah, like TX and Stabies, I do tend to use a little bit less. Because at the end of the day, you can add a little more, like if you use like a syringe or something like that, or even like a brush, just use a brush to kind of like jam it from the back portion, right? But yeah, so that's one way. I mean, it's basically to use less and then add later on if you need more. But I think the more you do it, the more quickly you learn how to manage the quantity that you need to use every time. More so the consistency of it, yeah. I had a shit time one morning before going to uni where the power shot the bed and voltage went down. I thought my PC and laptop charger straight up died for a good hour. Ooh. Oh, that's annoying. Although I have to say, I don't tend to do anything in the morning. Like, I don't, like, if it's like an assignment due a certain day, I'm not doing that in the morning of. I almost always try to finish things the day before, because it kind of bothers me knowing that I don't have something done and I'm waking up and like, what if things just go south? Like if I'm commuting, my transit's late or something like that, right? Ironically, I was the most mad at the printer dying. I mean, printer woes are name a more iconic situation. Printer woes are like I mean, printers are like the spawn of the devil in the first place, right? But yeah, printer dying, yeah, it really sucks. A no risk kind of guy? Yeah, I mean, ideally. Hello, Mr. Cute, how's it going? I did all 4 paper assignments for a class this semester the morning they were due. I don't think I've had many situations where that's even possible. Like doing it on the morning of is like impossible. Like you simply do not have the time to complete an assignment in that short amount of time. I mean, at least the assignments I have had normally were not that lenient about time commitment required. So Linear click, hello Diego. I was just wondering, for the switches that you place into the PCB when testing the stabs, is there a particular order that you put them in, or is it totally random? For me, it is totally random. I think the most important thing is to have enough switches to support the plate above the PCB, such that the plate is parallel to the PCB. So you don't want one corner sagging down and the other one being slightly up. You want the PCB and the plate to be exactly the same distance. So as long as you have enough switches for that to be the case, which you can just do randomly, it's fine. So you definitely might want to have some switches down the middle, down the corners on this side, or you know, but pretty much just making sure that is as close as possible to what the performance of the switch at the modifiers is going to be when you are fully done building is what you want to aim for. I'm a horrible procrastinator, so I've absolutely put myself in the position of writing a paper on the day it's due. Me too. Like, I've done things on the day of, but they always end up absolutely terrible, which I mean, if you procrastinate, that's just the price you have to pay. Like, I've submitted really shitty assignments, that's for sure. Ideally, I would like not to. I feel like I lose 10 years of my life every time I stress myself to that point. I get very irritated at things not being done and me wanting to do them but having not done them. If I don't really care about like a class or like if it's about like a certain assignment, then I don't care if I do it on the day of. It's like whatever. If it's slightly lacking, someone else can deal with it. The problem, it's not my fault. Group projects make me die. Classic, yeah. Group projects are very hit or miss. Sometimes they're wonderful, and sometimes they're absolutely terrible. Normally, not great, because there's always somebody who is the weak link, basically. I annoy people with my process. What sense do you have? What process do you have that's annoying or potentially annoying? Like, put an example for that. Milky just built div. School doesn't stress me. School only stresses me when things are pushed to the brink. But normally, generally speaking, I don't get too stressed about it. So whatever. C's get degrees. Who cares? Oh. Didn't plug this in, did I? Alright, let's get soldering. I'll say this for myself, despite leaving them until the last minute, I always had a knack for it. I did a decent job. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. Must be nice. Alright folks, I'm gonna start soldering. Sorry about the noise here. The noise level bothers you. That's too bad. Mute for now. It won't be too long though. I always felt like I did better work when I had the time crunch. I mean, you know that you guys have seen this stress performance curve, right? Where your performance peaks out at a moderate amount of stress. So doing it too early or too late is not, I mean, like not being stressed at all or being extremely stressed are both pretty bad, but then the moderate amount lead to better performance on things. It's just the pressure effect. It's just the way it goes. I mean, not for everybody, but a lot of people. It's like a bell curve behavior. No reason to freak out over something that won't matter in the future? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I don't freak out, it just stresses me out that people suck sometimes. That's the main thing. Like, if it's like a team project, for example, that's a good one, you know? Like, when people just kind of drop the ball on you. Or, you want to do a good job and, like, things are just not working out.
Hey, go, you go.
But yeah, you have to try to not, you know, let that get to you too much, that's for sure. Every time I think I'm stressed from school, I remember my time in the military, and then I get over it. Yeah, there's worse. I mean, if people think that being in school is the most stressful thing they have ever experienced in their lives, there's probably a lot worse out there. That's for sure. It's just that they might have never experienced such a thing. But a lot of people are lucky, but a lot of people aren't. Lenta Lucas, hello. Thank you so much for the Prime sub. How's it going? I love school. That's nice. I mean, I certainly like school to a certain degree. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in it for so long. Although I did shit work for these last projects, turns out I ended up with above average grades in almost everything. So it might just be shit work, quote unquote, according to your perspective, or there's just a very generous curve, and that's pretty much what it is. Happens in a lot of the case in the uni. Sheltered is the word? Yeah, sheltered. Sometimes spoiled. Sometimes just sheltered. Sometimes both. Happens. As long as you don't mix that with either entitlement or misconception of reality, misperception of reality, I think it's fine. People eventually learn things, I think. So I personally think it's fine to be a bit naive at one point, but if you're kind of not open to learning from it, then okay, that could be a problematic thing. You could be annoying people that you work with, or even just your friends, because if you're telling them how stressful something is and they're like, really, dude? Reality check, I guess. I mean, this is also applicable to like work life, right? So the amount of people at my uni who overstress over every little assignment drives me crazy. That's pretty typical. Waffle has lightning or flat. It's not always their fault. Yeah, try to be objective and fair. Yeah, I agree. It's never. I mean, it's best to not assume that, right? It's best to just kind of see if the circumstances kind of match up with the experience, and like if it's justifiable for someone to be frustrated. Anyhow, I think mental health plays into it a lot, though. Looking back on it, I was definitely in a really bad bad place mental health wise, especially in grad school, and that made it much worse than it probably was. Oh. I mean, I can relate. I can relate. I can relate to that very well. Being in a bad place and bad things happening to you definitely puts you in a very bad place. Like, it just the fall feels so much more dramatic and so much worse. I've been there, done that. I've also sought help and gotten out of situations that feel like absolute doom. Fortunately, yeah. I mean, actually, yeah. It's been a long time now since I like stopped seeing like a therapist, and like I do take like meds and stuff, and that's fine. But it's been stable for a while now, and which is great. But I was in a bad place once at some point, and everyone can be. It's just circumstantial sometimes, and sometimes it just builds upon itself, where it's many years of fatigue building up. Tyler, hello. How's your PC? PC is functional, like okay, but still needs some tweaking / replacements of parts, so that it's fully functional and fully, basically at full capacity. But full potential rather. But right now it's like okay. It just stabilized the big issue I had, which basically was an unusable PC, like it was just freezing up completely. Now it's not doing that, so that's good. Law school was fun. It can be. I mean, yeah, a lot of friends that I know who went into professional careers, so law school, med school, dental, etc. The other day, I learned that our diplomas here get 3 types of subtitles: unanimity, distinction, excellence. It turns out getting shit grades sometimes also affects how people look at your diploma. Oh yeah, I mean isn't that basically the equivalent of like cum laude, yeah, basically honors degrees, or like graduating with distinction is basically what that's the equivalent of. I was talking about this with my classmate. We know people who study for 5 minutes and get 100, and others who study for hours and also get 100. We're in between. Yeah. I am that person. I am that person. I cannot study for little and get 100s. I do have to
More simples.
I do have to work to get stuff done. Which kind of is unfortunate in the sense that it does correlate with the amount of time I spend on things. I'm not a genius on anything particular. I wouldn't say that I'm not smart. I do think I like have like strong suits, but definitely have to put the time in. It's mostly been a matter of just effort, but yeah, yeah, school is one of those things, right? What KC on the canoe? What's KC? Oh, Keycaps. GMK TA90. Latam Keys. Hola. 8 meses. Muchas gracias. Looking into it while I'm on break. Thankfully, my school has a lot of resources available. That's awesome. Christian, that's great, dude. I'm happy for you. Also, you know, be open to the fact that it takes some trying out, like shopping around, essentially. Not the first person isn't necessarily the one person for you, but sometimes you are just lucky and you just find the right person who just works. It's best to not be too skeptical, but also to be open to the fact that, for example, like seeking help, like therapy or otherwise, it's not one. It's not like a silver bullet. Just that works for everybody. I hate psycholinguistics. These youngins def make me feel less smart. Building scale models and the graphic design aspects of putting together presentation boards was a lot of fun, though I was certainly too exhausted at the time to appreciate it. There's definitely a lot of like professional school, or at least like higher level like schooling, grad school and otherwise, that you don't appreciate at the time because it's busy work. But at the end of the day, you look back and you're like, yeah, this was pretty cool. It was just like I was so stressed out about having to have it done that you don't get to really see the beauty of it. But some skills that you do learn like in school or at work sometimes, you know, when you do certain projects and it requires like this one-time thing that you put into that particular project and then you never do it again, and it stresses you the hell out because it's like something new that you're doing. But then by the time it's done, you're like, yeah, actually that was kind of cool. Do your professors know your Twitch channel? No, because at least for streaming, I only got into it after like I was not like an undergrad or anything like that. And if like let's say like if somebody in like currently in my life knew who I was and stuff, I wouldn't care. It's my life, and I think we're adults and nobody really should care. I mean, unless it inhibited like the amount of time I spend on things like that I should be doing, then that could be a problematic thing. Like, you know, if like my mentor were telling me like, hey, like you gotta do less of this and more of that, then I think that's a fair criticism or a fair point to bring up. But no, otherwise no. I would say generally people know what I do, but also don't quite care or involve themselves too much in people around me. But there's a lot of people who know what I do though, like streaming and whatnot. Learn Chinese, I want to do that. Me too. I want to learn Chinese too. Just in general, I wanted to learn both Mando and Canto. That would be great. But it's such a rigorous language to learn. I mean, like it takes a lot of rigor to like, and discipline to like practice it a lot, and really get it pat down.
Hello, how are you?
I don't know if it's the hardest language to learn, but yeah. That reminds me of that video of the grandpa that gifted his grandson Mein Kampf because he heard that instead of Minecraft. Oh my god. No, that's not wholesome. No, 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 no. Dr. Killswitch, hello. Thank you so much for 9 months. How's it going? My Chinese is so bad. My Chinese is absolutely none. I know no Chinese. I can understand maybe like a phrase of two of Cantonese sometimes, but generally speaking, I do not know anything. Start with Duolingo. Yeah, I think there's also like Hello Chinese and a few other apps that I've seen that people like. There definitely are quite a lot of resources out there though. Yeah, that's it. Well then. I can order a dim sum, which is perfect for me. That's pretty good. I mean, being able to order food is a godsend in that regard. At least. Even if it's like a mix of language and body language. Like spoken and body language. Think you know what does Chao San mean? Or Maitan? I would love to learn a third language, but I find the prospect of learning a new language so daunting. I find it exciting personally, it's just more so that I need to spend the time. I think that's the hard part. Spending the time and just doing it. Just having a discipline to grab a book, grab a resource every day or every so often and consistently going after it. Which is what you basically do when you're like in school, right? That's a hard part. That's a daunting part for me at least. It's like the building a discipline. I know I'm not a disciplined person. I know I'm not. I know I'm a procrastinator too. I know that I do put things aside for a while and all that. But like I'm a lazy person is what I really should say. So it's more so building the discipline around that laziness. Like getting over the laziness and doing it and making it a habit. Once you make it a habit, it's a lot easier. But until then, right? Just gotta force yourself to speak it and you know, be immersed in it. Really, that's how you learn the best, I think. I mean, the way I learned English was I forced a lot of my friends back in when I was like in middle school, high school, which is when I started learning a lot of English. That's when I started really more concretely. I forced my friends who did speak English very well to only speak to me in English, even though they could speak to me in Spanish all day. Even though they could do that, I just told them, hey, don't speak to me in any other language other than English. Because that way I'm gonna learn. And it helped. My Chinese is a little meme. I believe it's Mandarin. Please correct me if I'm wrong. 谢谢你好 Bing chilling. Sorry, I thought of the I thought of that John Cena thing, right? Bing chilling. Oh, so bad. Oh my god. Goodness. I can no longer see Cam. Oh goodness. I thought you were talking about ice cream in Mandarin. Oh my god. Oh shit, that's so funny. Oh my god. The Fast and Furious thing. Oh, it's so good. Oh my god. Oh, John Cena. Whew. Sheesh. Oh, I'm dead. I'm so fucking dead. That's so fucking funny. Oh my god. Alright, let's turn off this light. Oh, okay. Okay, key tester, test matrix. Too good, too good. It's also because I watched this like maybe like a couple weeks ago to remind myself of it, and it's just so funny. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys. That was just really fucking hilarious. Alright, great, that works. At least we didn't burn my hands or anything doing this, and it all worked out with no issue. Oh my god. One drunk man, thank you so much for the $25 tip. Holy moly, big chilling. I will definitely enjoy some ice cream on your behalf. I will certainly enjoy some ice cream, and I'll post some proof on Lightning Cord. Oh god, that was funny. All right, friends. So we have a few things to try out. So let's see. So we're gonna try O-ring. We are going to try no O-ring, so top mount, and then we are going to try internal weight and no internal weight, I think. For internal weight and no internal weight, let's only keep it at top mount only. Also, oh my gosh, Christian, thank you so much for the $25. Big chilling. Thank you. Turns out Minecraft. Oh, Minecraft. That's awful. Okay, anyway, all right, let's move on. So, all right. So let's see. So since we do have to do the internal weight thing as well, let's first start with O-ring, then go to top mount with internal weight, and then let's take out the internal weight. Let's do that. Watch the video. What is this? Hold on. I don't think I have the sound going through. I don't think I have the sound going through. Hold on. How do I put this up? Let's see, OBS. All right. Oh no. No, don't ruin YOASOBI like that. Do not ruin YOASOBI like that. That is just foul indeed. Oh, you sent something else, Nacho? Sorry for bringing this up, but this is hilarious. Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this at the end. How about that? Oh my!
Sounds so good.
What the hell? Hold on. I can't even copy that link. Can you post that in chat? Latam Keys? What? Latam Keys with the $100 dono. Holy moly! Jeez. Myth Rich? Is Myth about to get the OK Rich treatment? Oh my goodness. Just because Argentina won the World Cup! Vamos carajo. Alright, sounds really good with GMK. Oh no. Okay, fine. I'll play this because this is alright. Wait, I need to put the sound on too here. Jesus. Oh my god. Bing chilling. It's so funny. Messi goat get at me. I mean, Messi's definitely one of the greatest. That's a really good sound test. Okay, thank you so much for gifting a tier 1 sub to cute. Oh, Ankara Messi. Alright, let's put this daughter board on. Oh god, that was just so freaking funny. I apologize, my friends. I'm on the laughing fit today. Also, Prius, thank you so much for resubbing. Appreciate it. Alright, so I was told by Elaine that I should tape the JST channel. The reason being that apparently it sounds kind of pingy if you don't. The kit from... Excuse me. Monokei's kit is actually going to include some Teflon tape for you to just apply over the JST channel, also to keep the cable down. So I'm gonna do that as suggested first. I think this cable is kind of long too, so I'm just gonna do this much. Dolchar 5 or carbon on this color. Oh, those are cool suggestions. I haven't seen those on silver in a while. Although I believe Mr. Ankit claimed Greg earlier. Whoa, what is this? Lightning keywords packeted again with the TKL. Welcome back from the war with your PC. Thank you. Is anyone's daily driver a TKL? I normally daily drive a TKL or a 60%. So those are normally my go-tos. But yeah. Alright, and also I just need to make sure that things are aligned. So let's grab some keycaps. So I did pick up Greg just now, earlier, because I saw that Ankit redeemed it. So I have it right here. I'll eat that keyboard when completed. Top keyword layout is what TKL stands for, because it'll always be peak. Alright, I just need a few keycaps here just to line up this thing. Just checking the alignment, making sure it's nice and centered. Don't worry about the placement of the specific keys. Just trying to make sure it's okay. That looks pretty good to me. No clearance issues. Okay. GMK ping chilling. Alright, we're gonna try O-ring mount first with internal weight. Actually, should I remove the internal weight for O-ring? Let me see. The internal weight is optional due to the angle of the board and large external weight. Acoustics are very different. I currently use mine without the internal weight. Okay. We can see for ourselves. But no internal weight means it's a bad board. Oh gosh. Need that unicorn shirt? Yeah, I got it as a gift. You know, because I moderate the single server. But I believe there was a small drop a while back. Although a lot of it's also sold locally, like in Malaysia, Singapore. So hopefully there will be more later on. Is there gonna be a group buy for this board? It's currently ongoing. There is a group buy right now. On Monokei. Monokei.co. Oh shit, rip my wallet. Are you gonna get it? Are you getting it for sure already? You're like 100% sure of that already? Alright, let's get a GMK Greg here set up. Small reset coming in the future, I think. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so I believe Greg is like yellow everywhere except for like some of these parts here. So let's set that up. On TKL, I think this is yellow. Can you use blush kit as well on caps and enter? Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay, so 7U. Spacebar. Wait, a blush kit. That's later. Oh wait, no. Question mark is gonna be black, I think. Gregory. Oh shit. Oh, Mr. Nathan. Hello. Damn. How's it going? Hello, hello. Do you see this absolutely glorious key set? Do you have Greg, Nathan? I actually don't know. How's it going though? Oh, maybe he left right after the raid. Let me see, F8 to F11. He's watching an anime trailer? Oh, I see. Oh, okay, too busy. Maybe? Oh, okay. That's fine. QWER and then OP brackets. Let's see, what's B? B is going to be black actually. Z. You messed up these two? Oh really? On the but on the render. Oh, is it different for oh, on 7U. Oh, I see, okay. Oh, damn, EPP with the 5 gifted. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Let's see, 3 and 4 are black. The rest is kind of all the same. Oh no, wait. 5. Yeah, 5 is white. Where's my sub? Wait, are you not sub, Christian? Also, I do need to remove this one. It's a monster. N. Sorry, it's taking me a while because this set is like pretty whack. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Diego, tell Gam to watch Toradora? You should watch Toradora, Gam. Why shouldn't you? Why wouldn't you, rather? That's what I'm wondering. Just do it. Oh, Juby, hello. What is Greg? Is Greg a dog? Yeah, it's a doggo, right? It's a dog on the Jaguar. Dog from a social media app. Thank you. OP, I'm missing the I. Where's the I? I. And then question mark. And then home. Right here. And then pause, I guess. And then we have the blush kit, which is these guys. Then I believe I have the perfect artisan for this. Ta-da! All right. All right, how's it going? Diego, how many subs for a Deaf Black Skull? I don't even have one to just give you. So I don't think it would really change anything. Also, that would be a waste of your money, I think. TBH. Alright. Okay, so is the mic good here? Alright, let's plug this in. Sorry about the noise in the background. That's the heating pipe or whatever. It's just kind of loud. It's like making like very weird, like whirring kind of sounds. It's not great, I know, but yeah, apologies. Okay, so let's get to this, I guess. All right. Are we good with sound? Sound good here right now? I think it's fine. All right. All right. So right now we have with internal weight O-ring mount. Right now we have some Marshmallows from TikTok, Lube with 25 grade 0, and this is a full aluminum plate and TX steps, okay? And as you might know, this also does have the flex cuts on the plate and the PCB, okay? All right, give it a shot. Here we go. A bit muted, yeah. First of all, I do think it's muted because of the flex cuts. I don't personally like the flex cuts myself. It dissipates the sound a lot. So I'm actually kind of wondering what it would be like with the flex cut shut, specifically the flex cuts on the PCB more so than the plate. So yeah. Do you not use control backspace? Normally no, I don't bother. But yeah, so let's try a few different things. But let's go through the modifiers first, and then we'll go through some variations of this. All right, so the modifiers here. Alright. Where'd you get that artisan? This is from Keycaps. It's from Keycaps. Alright, so that's what it sounds like with the O-ring and with the internal weight. So let's try a few things. I do think the biggest difference is going to be those flex cuts, to be quite honest, and also the mounting. So let's go ahead and change the mounting first, maybe to top mount, and then we'll remove the internal weight, and then we'll also remove, then we'll tape up the flex cuts, which I do think is going to make a big difference on the PCB. Alright, so yeah, let's do that. You can order without flex cut on the plate? Yeah, I believe so. And you can use other 87 layout PCBs like H87s, yes, that's correct. So right now we have flex cuts on both the plate and the PCB. So if you think that it's muted, that is most certainly why. Flex cuts do cause the sound to be dissipated quite severely, so just so you know. Okay. Unplug that. Alright. Which cuts make more difference on PC or plate? It's kind of like an interplay between the two. So for example, like right now, the cuts on the plate match the ones on the PCB. So if I press hard on the middle rows, you can see the middle rows like bend in. And that's because they're matching. Like the plate cuts and the PCB cuts are exactly on the same level. So it's very so that dissipates a lot, especially in the middle rows. I would say it's like a bit of an intermingling effect. Like it kind of depends on where both are. Yeah. But pretty much the more, yeah, I think PCB tends to be the bigger effect because you're basically pushing against this bottom surface. So effectively, I think flex cuts on the PCB tend to matter a lot more for dissipation of sound and like how it feels flexible. All right, so let's do top mount next. Let's see here. I hate muted sound, TBH. I mean, I personally don't use silent switches, for example, so that's like, I personally tend to prefer more pronounced sound in general as well. So similarly like you. So yeah, it's preference, but everyone has like their preference with regard to that specifically. Okay, so top mount next with the internal weight. So let's do that. The purple solder mask looks dope. Yeah, I do really like how the PCB looks. Not just the solder mask, but also the traces look super nice and clean. If this is your personal board, what build would you do? Probably Cherry or Gateron linears on an alu plate, to be honest. Probably. I don't tend to deviate from what I like, so I'll probably just do that. GAT or MX blacks, like, yeah, on aluminum. Something like that. Alright, now we have it in top mount configuration, everything else the same. So all I did was remove the O-ring and put top mount screws. So we'll give it a try like that. What Gateron? Like GAT X, GAT Yellow, Milky Top, GAT Black, Milky Top, any of those. Just most Gaterons which are pretty good. I've tried the Vermilion birds or whatever. Those are pretty good too. Those are on my MX-65. Alright. Let's give it a shot. Now it's top mount. Okay? Everything else the same. So I do think top mount sounds really nice. But let's try more things. So there's top mount. And here are the mods. So yeah, I do personally think top mount has a much more prominent sound, much more obvious that it's like you hit that bottom out. So yeah, maybe it is also the case that maybe having the internal weight and O-ring might be detrimental, considering the flex cuts too. Kind of sinks too far, too close to the bottom, maybe. But you know, we can experiment a little bit. So let's try the next thing here. Next thing to try here is going to be with no internal weight, okay? Alright, so now we're gonna take out the internal weight, which is this one right here, this stainless steel internal weight. The internal weight is not very, it's not very thick, okay? It's maybe like 3 millimeters or so. I mean, like, I can just eyeball it here. Yeah, it's maybe like 3 millimeters or so for thickness. Can you take out the daughter board too? I mean, I could, but then I can't type on it, so. Alright, so we'll take out the internal weight for now. So as you can see on the bottom, it says SINGAKBD there, engraved, so you can still see some form of branding in there. And let's get to it. So now top mount with no internal weight. And then lastly, what we'll do is we're gonna tape those flex cuts shut with some tape, and we're gonna try it out like that. Tape mod, yeah. Is this compatible with TGR Jane V2 CE internal weight? Probably not. I have a feeling taping the flex cuts will sound a lot better. I personally think so too, because I think the flex cuts dissipate a lot of the sound. So I personally would prefer it without the flex cuts, but we'll see. It's worth trying. No O-ring? We did O-ring at first. I can always go back to O-ring at the end. How about that? We can always do O-ring and like everything else. Like no internal weight and blah 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 blah. Maybe we'll do that at the very end. Do you not get an X ring? No, I only have an O ring. That's the only rubber band I have. Alright, let's give this a try now. Alright, so now we have no internal weight top mount, okay? Alright, let's give it a shot. Get some water first. Excuse me. Here we go. There is with no internal weight. More resonant, yeah, for sure. Kind of more spacious, more roomy kind of sound, right? And the modifiers again. sounds good in a different way. Yeah, that's fair. I think they both have kind of this different kind of sound. I think I personally like it with the weight in this particular build. But I could see maybe some other switches might be better without the weight. Maybe the resin kind of helps that sound. Because maybe it sounds too flat or something otherwise. I do like this with the weight, I think, probably for this particular build. Yeah. Alright, so the next one we will try is going to be... We're gonna tape those flex cuts now. Maybe add the weight when you tape the flex cuts. Would you guys prefer that to be the case? Would you guys rather add the weight in or no? I mean, you guys decide since you guys are here. With weight? Okay. Seems to be the more vocal consensus. Alright. Put it back. Alright, sounds good. Just see effects of one thing at a time? Yeah, sounds good. I mean, you guys can always go back on the VOD and stuff, right? So... yeah. Okay, so... let's tape these guys up. Grab some of this Captain tape here, which is a bit thin, but it holds pretty well. Simon, TH, thank you so much for the Prime Gaming sub. For 16 months, damn. Alright. Is that conductive? No, it's Captain tape. Captain tape is not conductive. It's also used for electrical uses and high temperature uses. You can buy it on like Amazon or like hardware stores. This is like the 1/2 inch wide one. I mean, sorry, yeah, 1/2 inch? No, wait. An inch? Anyway. Bubber Lab, thank you so much for the tier 1. The tape unrolling makes a satisfying sound. Oh yeah, the shine threw me off. Oh yeah, it does have a reflectiveness to it. But when it's pretty thin. It's pretty thin. But it does have a good hold, which is pretty nice. And I like that it's thin because that way it doesn't like take up a lot of... It doesn't feel too kind of intrusive. But they should hold this pretty well. We've done this before like on other boards. Alright. So. First time I've seen the right kind of tape used. Really? Meow doesn't play games. kind of excited to hear this one. To see how different it is. Alright, now we're trying it with tape. And the internal weight on and tape on the flex cuts. Taping them shut. So this is top mount, internal weight, and flex cuts taped shut, okay? Here we go. And cheers. Oops. Choked earlier, but whatever. It sounds really nice. I much prefer it this way. Guys, flex cut trend is okay in some regards, but it's sometimes a little too much.
Sounds good.
And I think it sounds really good. I think it sounds great. All right, let's check out the mods. Here goes the mods. Yeah, so I do think, like, especially the middle section, like this core section, like where all the alphas are, is a lot more prominent. Like, it's much more pronounced. And that is probably because a lot of that energy is not dissipating as a result of the flexibility of the flex cuts. As you know, as a result of flexos not having to like move and dissipate all that energy out. So it sounds a lot fuller, yeah. So I personally am a big fan of this with the tape on the flex cuts. So like, I'm gonna be realistic, right? It is possible that the PCB will still have the flex cuts as an option for those people who want it. If you want it without, all you need to do is just add a single, stripe of tape. So on each of the rows, which is not very difficult to do. I know it's a little extra effort, but if it happens to be that the PCB ends up being with flex cuts, you always have, the ability to just tape them shut, which is very easy to do. But now I think this kind of explains like why with or without, right? Especially with the plate having cuts that are compounded to the PCB, it will dissipate a lot of that energy. So that sound gets dissipated as energy, as vibrations, and therefore you're going to lose a lot of sound. So it's going to sound a lot more muted, and that's why when we tape them shut, there's less of that movement. So you get a bit of a more full, sound, fuller sound. But yeah, Yes, and for those who are currently looking into the group buy, no flex cuts is on the plate right now. The change has been done on the plate because the changes that Elaine can do right now are on the CNC machined parts. So that's going to be your case and your plate, right? For the PCB side, she would have to talk to Kopi Bang, who is the designer of the PCB, to basically do that. And that actually kind of changes a lot of things in the sense that flex cuts do mean that the routing had to happen around the cuts. So just FYI. But if not, right, if you want to use a different PCB that doesn't have flex cuts at all, you can always use any of the H87 style compatible variants with the JST connector, and that will work just fine. Just FYI. Alright, so that pretty much should cover all of it, unless there was anything else that I missed. Also, Utilstrator, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. I'm glad that you got your mail, by the way. I'm glad that worked out pretty well. Were there flexes on this proto plate? Yes. So if I take out some of the keycaps here, you will see that there are cuts. Oh, it's kind of hard to see because the plate is black, huh? Let me see. So you can see, oh, actually you can see the sheen of the PCB shining through, right? So you can see how there is that sheen of the PCB shining through because of the reflection. That's a cut. The cut goes all the way from here to here. So from Q to like left bracket or right bracket-ish, and then same down here, right here. Under the home row and then under the num row, there's cuts on the plate right now. They basically right now the cuts on the plate match the plates, the cuts on the PCB. So they're matched up. Just yeah, just like for your information. I returned to farm. Glad you were able to stream. Thank you. I know, and it didn't drop anything. That's so nice. But this sounds really nice with the cuts shut. In my opinion, I think it sounds better. I personally prefer it this way. I have to say I like the simpler form of things. So 1.6mm PCB with a regular, good old regular aluminum plate, and you know, Cherry MX and Gateron switches, right? Like stuff that we all know what it probably is gonna sound like and probably is like. Just kind of works. So like, that's normally what I tend to go for, but it sounds really nice. Like now the home row sounds very nice and full. Do you try without internal weight? Yeah, we can try without internal weight, I guess. Although I'm not sure if there's a big difference now here. We can try it though. How many tests have I done? Oh, it's only been it's already been 2 hours and 20 minutes, but it has felt like stream's been longer, but it's been going pretty well. I want to hear no weight with some nice tactiles. That would be good. Yeah, that would be nice too. Browns on PC or clears on Alu. Ooh, yeah, that would be pretty nice. I missed this one here. Oh, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah. MX Browns would slap. Thank you, thank you. I do agree. MX Browns are okay. I'm just gonna flip this over. All of these innovations, and yet you still cannot beat 7-point top mount with cuts. I mean, without cuts, my bad. Okay, so removing the weight here. Is this your last stream for the year? No, this is not my last stream for the year. There is still, I will still have to show the Ikigai fragment if that comes in. which is an artisan case, and then I also am going to be building the AL6 from Yeffy Alchemy CNC. If you know Yeffy, Alchemy, the AL6 is 60%. I believe Lulsax and Mr. Alex Otos also showed that particular board. Yeah. For the sound test of this board, like when I put something up, I will actually do this in only one configuration because people can always refer to the stream. So yeah, if I don't record too many videos or too many things to put on YouTube after this particular stream, I'm sorry. It's also the holidays. But rest assured, the VOD will be up on YouTube, so you don't have to worry too much about that part. And I'll hopefully try to timestamp it. At least it's not Screwless' worst innovation ever. I think Screwless is fine. Like aesthetically, it kind of works, you know. I do think that sometimes like certain designs or certain like design language tends to kind of like not work as well because like maybe the bezel ratio, like you know the way the bezels might show some of the internal parts because of the way like the like hinges work, like from the top. But yeah, it also it kind of does seem to depend on the case. Some cases are fine. They look pretty good, like at typing level. Oh, you made it! Nine Walker, hello. How's it going? All right. Is this the last thing that we're gonna do today? Which is going to be top mount with no internal weight, flex cuts taped shut. Bion has made a screwless thing where the screws go 45-degree angle on the inside bezel. He says people on meetups could not see the screw. I kind of doubt it. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's neat. People trying new things is always nice. No fault in trying something new. Screwless is just design language. Yeah, I do agree. Screwless is a design thing. Like, if you don't like it, it's probably also because, at least on the design level, like, the aesthetic doesn't speak to you too, right? Because maybe it shows a screw somewhere else, and that turns you away from it, and maybe it also, you know, it's just a choice that people make. It's neither innovation nor particularly bad. It's not like a step back. I think it's just like an alternate thing, rather. All right, well, let's try this out. Now we have internal weight taken out, everything else the same. So flex cuts tape shut, no internal weight, and top mount. Okay. Okay. Here you go. Sounds really good. I actually think this is really nice. I think that resonance really helps this. I actually do think I like no internal weight in this particular case more. So when the flex cuts were not taped shut, I liked it with internal weight. I mean, yeah, without the flex cuts shut, yeah, I liked it with internal weight, but now I like it without. So that's pretty cool. So many different ways of doing things here. All right, here are the mods. I think the alpha sound really good right now. I think the alpha sound perfect right now. They are like, where's Mason? They sound like creamy, claggy. Anyway, sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty good. The internal weight need extra cost? No, it's part of the kit, so you can remove it off the kit. But you can't order a unit with no internal weight and then ask them to discount it for you, because that's not the way it works. But it sounds really good. It sounds really good. It's just the right amount of resonance for this particular switch, and plate combo is just right. I wonder what it would sound like with cherry switches or with Gateron switches otherwise, because I think the thick talk ones are, it might be JWK, right? The Marshmallows. But they sound good. They sound good. So yeah, this is good. Bing chilling. And yeah, even the long pole switch. Yeah, that would be interesting. I think it would be cool to kind of try out, for sure. So pretty nice. Pretty nice. I like it. Alright, so I think that kind of wraps up all the different configurations. We tried a lot. Just to kind of, if someone comes back in the VOD here and is checking out the end of it, today we tried, at first we did with internal weight, with O-ring, and PCB left stock, essentially alone. And then we switched to top mount after that, and then everything else the same. And then we did top mount with no internal weight, and everything else the same. And then we did and then we went ahead and did the no internal weight for top mount. And then we did internal weight placed in top mount with flex cuts taped shut. And then finally, without internal weight, flex cuts taped shut, top mount, right? So we did all of those combinations, but we did quite a few. So whoever's here to watch the stream bot later on, hopefully has enough reference for many different configurations. Don't forget though, this is for this particular switch, for this particular plate, this particular combination of things. Not every switch and plate combo and build will sound alike. And Bing chilling. Elaine, oh my god. Elaine woke up. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's 10:30 a.m. Good morning. I hope you had a good sleep and a good day. How's it going? Anyway, so yeah, we tried a bunch of different things. Elaine, thank you so much for the 50. That's crazy. I actually don't think I've seen a 50 drop like that. I remember like a $50 donation before, for the subathon before. But 50 subs is wow. It is Friday. It is Friday, not here. It is Friday in Malaysia. Merry Christmas. Aww. Happy holidays. Play the video. Okay. I'll do it. For Elaine, I'll do this. I'll do this. Wait. Okay, where is it? Chrome.
早上好，中国！现在我有冰淇淋，我很喜欢冰淇淋，但是速度与激情就比冰淇淋速度与激情。
I am dead. Oh my god, that's so funny. Who was talking? Couldn't see them? Oh, that was John Cena. I couldn't see anyone. Oh, was it not visible? Oh, that's weird. Is it because of hardware acceleration maybe? Oh, I thought that's the job. Oh my bad. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. And then it's the John Cena. Okay, we're done. We're done talking about Bing Chilling and John Cena for today. Oh my god, that's so funny. Nice. Love it. Moderators. Stop this spam. Okay. Let's get back to this. Okay, so I guess it's time to just show off the board now. Alright, so here's our board for tonight's build. Oh wait, I'll leave the chat on for now. Oh wait, there we go. Alright, here's the board though. Just wanted to show you guys. This is the Singa Jaguar V2 in silver. Very nice. The internal weight is down here, but here's the side profile. And the back. And the bottom. The side profile is so good. I think it's so nice and refined with this V2. It just looks really clean. It just looks very clean. I really like it's like it like builds up every layer. This is great design, in my opinion. Like it's like smaller slab, medium slab, large slab. It like builds up this like kind of staircase kind of farm. What's the verdict? Weight, no weight? I would say no flex cuts is my preference, and with or without weight, I think it depends on the config. So maybe with or without weight could sound better with whichever combination you might be trying, like switches or O-ring or no O-ring. You actually might want to just experiment with the internal weight situation. But I think the internal weight effect is not huge, but it could be beneficial in some cases, and in some cases you actually might want to just put it there and you know, leave it alone. So more variable, but I do think I prefer it with without the flex cuts personally. But yeah, it's really nice board here. Just gonna show you guys what it looks like up close here. I mean, on a different angle. Oh, hello, Ace of Cakes. How's it going? Merry Christmas, Diego and JD. Merry Christmas, Merry Happy Holidays to you too. But yeah, there it is. Our Jaguar V2. Still stand by Gregory. It's so bad, it's so good. Yeah, I do agree. It's so bad, it's so good. I do agree. It's like it's an abomination for itself, but at the same time it looks cute because it's so whack. It's a good one though, that's why. I think it's a good set for that reason. It combines the bad and the good in a nice way. It's really funny. It's a very cute set in my opinion. I mean, Greg was designed by a friend of mine, so like I bought it to support, but at the same time I think it's the most, like, it's such a cute thing to do on a key set. Yeah. I ordered purple, but this makes me want silver. Oh, it looks super nice on silver too. I think I'm gonna leave it like this for the sound test that I'm gonna put up. I'm gonna say I taped the flex cuts, I put out the internal weight, and I did top mount. That's gonna be the config I'm gonna put up on the YouTubes. I think that works, right? And then tell people they can refer to the stream if they want us to look at other config. What effect does the internal weight have? I would say that if you have it out, it adds a little bit of roominess, like resonance. So it can be nice. It kind of depends though. Maybe it depends on the switch and the plate that you use, and also just kind of, you just gotta try it out. The Singa effect. Yeah. Anyway, no, this is a pretty nice build, the way it is right now. Really like how the num row sounds and the home row. Very pleasant. I'll make all GB PCBs without. Oh, okay. Decision's been made. All GB PCBs, no flex cut. Poggers. I guess this is why we do build streams and reviews, right? It helps. Poggers. Oh, and also here's just to show off the internal weight with the Jaguar. It's nice and very nice, clean stainless steel countersunk screws. Oh wait. I went for no flex on my plate too. I think I need to consider ordering a Jaguar. I really want the purple one, to be honest. The silver one's really nice, but I do have other silver boards, but that purple, dude, that purple is so good. The purple on the Jag, I mean, same with the unicorn one, right? Sheesh! It's so good. It's so good. Are you keeping this one? I think I'm sending it back. Not my switches either, so. Not the same? That's fine. That's fine. I don't mind that it's not the same purple. It's just really good purple. It's similar to the Ocelot one. Well, the Ocelot's right here. So this is the Ocelot purple. Look, that's such a nice purple. Very polite. It got lost during delivery. Oh no. Wish it came in Oxy Green. Oh, the green was good too. One day I'll have a purple board. It's the cakes. I hope you consider the Jaguar if you could. But maybe the TKLs and the Jaguar itself, maybe it's not your cup of tea. I don't know. And Kohaku red. Oh, that's the velvet, the velvety kind of red. That's a good red too. Yeah. Good stream. Thank you. Thank you. So I think that's pretty much it. Let me think. Are there any other things to show or do? I think that's it. I mean, I do have some other products to show, but probably later on. I do think I'll be getting to try the novelty switches that, the Cream Plus switches that, Mr. Mike has been teasing and showing and talking about. I'll probably get to try those at some point. And then there should be some other miscellaneous stuff here and there. But yeah, the AL6 is on the way to me, so that's gonna happen. Given the timeline right now, given it's the 22nd right now, probably next week. I also am planning for a subathon, build-a-thon kind of event. You guys can tell me if it's a good idea or not. I was hoping that I lube a shit ton of switches, like a shit ton of switches, between now and before the end of the year, hopefully. And do something like that. Dio, can you raid Hyun? I am not worthy. But also Kupo suggested the Pressure Pot, which is a bunch of artisan makers who are currently doing a holiday stream. Back looping with RO59? That would be difficult. I have a bunch of switches you can use. I mean, but then I have to keep them too, so it's okay. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll get there. All right. Pressure Pot is cool, but it's not Hyun. I'm gonna tell the makers, Quappa no longer will win artisans from now on. I'll say Quappa changed resin for Hyun supremacy. I see you, Quappa. Quappa, you're too young as well. What is this? The adults say no. No being chilling with Hyun, okay? Quappa? No. Tut. Alright. Wappa learning from the best. Alright, let's shoot our raid over to the Pressure Pot to show some huge amounts of support. But once again, thank you so much for all the patience and all the support. Elaine, thank you so much for sending this out. Monokei, of course, over there. Caleb, Mincer, all the staff in Monokei for helping me out and being very patient with this. I was supposed to be doing this last week, and it finally got done. And of course, I will have more stuff to show, more content to show, more things to stream. And I do plan on having this kind of subathon event with a lot of boards and key sets and that kind of stuff to give away. So I'll be planning that and announcing something hopefully soon. It really is dependent on how many switches I can manage to lube. I really want to have a lot of boards built, so I'll try my best. So yeah, I think that's all I have for tonight. Let's shoot over the raid to the Pressure Pot. Raiding Pressure Pot lowers my marbles luck. Jesus. Yeah, can the raid message Meowga raid, Lightning raid. Quappa suggested we raid Hyun instead. Can someone please scold Quappa that he's too young for no that he should either choose resin or Hyun supremacy. Meowgo chatting. Dear sir. Seba, how's it going? Alright, there it is. Happy holidays, friends. I hope I'll see you guys again for like my personal event soon, but otherwise you will see me again do some streams for other builds. I do have a Keycaps number 2 build coming up and a few other things, and I will also be opening commissions probably early next year. So I'll catch you guys later. See ya.